have some experience to give out. Might as well.
Mech warrior training complete.
Receiving you.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Ready for orders.
Okay, you are there.
Training complete.
Receiving you.
Mech warrior training complete.
Standing by.
Excellent. Escort, that's a battle, and it's a rank 2 battle, so that could be good. This could be quite good. Well, Vic, I'm gonna get Soul Reaver 2 to work. That's not even a question. I just have to play around with the settings to get to that sweet spot where it's not going to cause any issues. If nothing else, I will just put it into the safe settings, which are just regular PS2 ones. It will look kind of ugly, but it'll work. Because I do want to get that franchise completely done, with the Defiance being next. I'm hoping that Defiance won't give me any more trouble. I was thinking that Soul Reaver 2 was gonna be simple, but yeah, apparently not. After that, I haven't really decided what's gonna be the next game series after Soul Reaver, because I do have to consider how weak my machine is. I might actually go do Command and Conquer, but I might also just go for an adventure game of some sort. Depends, because I'm already playing the strategy games on Wednesday, so I don't want to play the same genre for 2 days of the week.
Got it. Roger that.
Because I'm probably gonna take Command and Conquer after I'm done with Warcraft. I don't really want to do 2 strategy games on the same week. Benita Steel Sky might be a good one. I'll consider it. That's the biggest problem always for me, to pick out what's the next game gonna be. There's so many. What are you? You are a medium. Well, at least we're dealing with mediums now. Another one? What are you? Also medium. Come on. Just outside of my view. There's a light.
Receiving you.
Let's bring it forward. I might actually play Star Sector.
On my way.
But see, here's the thing. Some of these games don't really have an ending, so I have to set up a goal for myself before I start. With games like Factorio, it was simple because Factorio does actually have kind of an ending. But with other ones, I have to pretty much decide what the ending is gonna be.
Looks like enemy reinforcements.
Okay, so we're dealing with 2 squads. And that's a Hunchback. And that's a Hunchback with 9 lasers on it. So that Hunchback has to go away. Can I do? Yes, I can. So let's go for his... That's on the right shoulder, isn't it? I think that's on his right shoulder.
All weapons committed.
Okay. Isn't Mordheim multiplayer only? Although I could be confusing it for a different game. Eesh. I'm happy I'm in Bulwark.
Standing by. Heading out.
To make him harmless. There we go. He's harmless.
Scored a critical hit.
What's up, boss?
Might as well.
Firing on target.
Done.
Hostile removed.
Oh yeah, I'm confusing this with a different game. Yeah, you're right.
Move into position.
Mordheim. Vindicator. Phoenix Hawk. I don't know what you are.
Roger that.
Ooh, that was a nice shot.
Reporting critical hit.
There was another game that I was thinking of taking up. But I haven't really tested it yet, so I don't know if it's stream worthy, and that's called Eco. But I think that one is also multiplayer only. Well, sandbox. It looks like a very interesting game.
All weapons committed.
Okay, good. Got too much evasion. Yeah, I think I've seen more some Mordhau being played by a Soviet Vumble, if I'm not mistaken.
Damage minimal.
Okay, Griffin, you are barely any threat. Could you just like go away?
Ready for orders.
Let's see if how lucky I am.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Very
Tango
lucky.
Trash.
That was a wonderful shot.
That's a hit.
See, Vic, that's why I get these games confused, because they all sound the same. So there's Mordhau and Mordheim. They're all lights.
Nice.
Easy. Now,
Past his armor.
a spider. You're annoying. Okay, that PPC is a threat. It's the laugh of superiority.
Engaging target.
Good. Center torso. A good shot. That's a blackjack. Blackjack has ACs. You're gonna get all overheated from that. Okay, no headshots there.
Warning. Armor low.
You have one laser and you missed me with it.
Standing by.
Yeah, Vic, that's the one what I confused it for. Obviously.
Roger.
Sprint and cool off.
Yes, Commander.
You could use a cool off yourself.
On my way. Double time. Receiving you. Moving out.
Okay, might as well kill you. Too much dead.
Got it.
There we go.
Target eliminated.
You mean in this game? AC 120.
I'm hit. Oh, I'm hit.
Oh no. Well, AC 20, but it's 120 millimeters. It's a massive autocannon. It deals 120 damage? Or just 100 damage? Not really sure. Smack this guy.
Engaging physical attack.
The problem with it is that it has a massive recoil, so each successive shot is less accurate, and you have to be close to fire it. Actually, no, I might be wrong because they've added. I have a DLC installed, and they added a bunch more weapons. I think it's LBX AC-20, which is a shotgun version of the AC-20. Oh, well, there is a Gauss gun, so there is a rail gun, and well, it's less powerful in terms of damage. It does 75 damage, but it goes through armor.
Warning.
So,
Armor low.
in some way, you could say that it's more powerful because of that
Commander.
fact, but
Position confirmed.
it does less raw damage, but it goes through armor, meaning that it doesn't have to strip armor. It can damage internals right away.
Mech destroyed.
Standing by.
That's the thing with BattleTech. Every weapon is good for something. It's never a case, oh, this weapon is just ultimately the best weapon to use. Each has a good and a bad point to it.
Commander.
For example, you can see these green lasers I'm firing. These are all medium lasers. And there are large lasers in the games, and they deal twice the damage. But they also accumulate twice the heat. But the good thing about the large laser is it can work as a sniper weapon, so it can fire outside of vision. So they can, I can fire it even when they don't see me, as long as one of my other guys have him detected. So each weapon is like that. There's always something good about anyway. And railguns are very rare. You can rarely find one. If I ever find a railgun, I'm immediately buying it, just because it's awesome. But they show up in stores very rarely.
Engaging physical attack. Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
Oh, come on.
Mech warrior injuries.
Now I have 2 injured mech warriors.
Orders. Roger. Tango down.
Commander. Moving to position. Aye, aye.
Oh, that was nice. That was very nice.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Well, that's the thing. The technology has regressed to such a point that a lot of people don't even know how these machines work anymore. That's why they can't build them anymore, because they don't understand them.
Target neutral.
Because the majority of the scientific community got bombed to hell. I might as well fire. Oh, he has 2 hit points left in the head.
Standing by.
Let's see. Oh,
I copy. Targeting for an alpha strike.
there we go.
Mech destroyed.
Well, that's why the salvage is such a big thing, Vic. Because they know how to manufacture certain ones, the ones that are more common. Some of the rare ones they don't know how to make, and they rely on just fixing them up and salvaging them. They're in the lore, some of the mechs are like hundreds of years old, and they have been in operation for a long time. Like the black checks for AC2 plus. I'm gonna take that. So was there any good loot here? Well, do we have a panther that we can get? Or a blackjack? Let's take the blackjack and we'll see what else we get. Yeah, we got the panther as well, perfect. And the AC2 plus. So, in the lore of BattleTech, at this point where this game is taking place, because of the incessant warfare, even the things such as space battleships are so rare that if anybody has a battleship or a spaceship of this size, they're considered to be a massive military force, because people only have small ships like this one, this on the side, our drop ship. That's the kind of ship that most people own, and that's the kind of ship that militaries own. Almost nobody is left with any spaceships anymore, so they depend on these kinds of vessels to transport them, and that's why you have to go to jump ships to travel quickly between stars, because these small ships, they don't have jump drives. All of that was lost in the war. There isn't infrastructure left anymore to build them. So anything that survives is considered a major asset. Yeah, so I would have to go a bit more into the lore for that. Essentially, they're called Starcom. They are essentially an AT-AT company. They're the communication. So in the age of Starleague, which is like the golden age of this setting, in the age of Starleague, they developed this communication ray that spans the entire galaxy. And after Starleague has fallen apart, Starcom has not Starcom, Comstar, that's the name. Comstar has retained control of those of that system, and they are the only ones who still own a massive fleet of ships under pretense of guarding that system, and they also have a whole lot of ancient, powerful battle mechs at their disposal. They are quite powerful. So powerful, in fact, that they are the ones who eventually kick the clans out of inner sphere space. But yeah, they're essentially space AT&T. So 8 days. I got something to sell from that, I think. If you are interested in the lore of BattleTech, I would recommend that you look up Black Pants Legion on YouTube and watch Tex's videos on the BattleTech lore. I don't think anybody is better at going in depth into BattleTech lore than him. I absolutely love his videos, I love his lore. He is, when it comes to BattleTech, he is the man to look at. I thought that they had more mechs to sell. I guess I was wrong. Let me see. Didn't I just get a few mechs? Oh, I didn't put them in the... They're still here. Yeah, so I got 3 of them. Panther, Blackjack, and a Locust. We're gonna sell all of those. I'm not a big fan of Western-made fantasy mythologies because they're mostly boring. Even I'm not really a big fan, I'll be honest, and I'm gonna get shot for this, but I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings as well. It just doesn't grasp me. But the lore of BattleTech is ridiculously well written, and it's ridiculously in depth. And that's something that works for him, when something is very in depth, when something is well thought out. Okay, we're back in money. Now I have to wait for my guys to recover. 8 days. Oh. Wait for C-bills.
I've got the financial report.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that Lord of the Rings isn't well written or anything like that. It just isn't for me. It's not something that I personally find that interesting. And oh, guys are back. I know that's weird to hear these days because everybody is a fan of Lord of the Rings. But that's more because of the movies these days rather than anything else. Yeah, even if you look at the books as a whole, I'm just not a big fan. It's not the story, but the mythology itself, the background of everything is just not very compelling to me. When it comes to that kind of fantasy, I'm not really sure if I even have a favorite. For me, when it comes to fantasy, I preferred... When it comes to books specifically now, when it comes to books specifically, I was always more of a Terry Pratchett fan. I loved, and I still love, the Discworld series, Mort, The Color of Magic, on all of those books. I love those. But they are humorous. They're not to be taken seriously, but I guess that's why I like it. And
Ready to chuck 'em, mate.
There are franchises there that have a good and in-depth storyline, but most part, no. And
I copy.
okay,
Receiving you. Moving out.
well, Vic, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The world of Lord of the Rings seems to be
Confirmed.
quite specifically populated. Like there are a couple of places of interest, and everything else is just empty grassland. It's like that the world doesn't exist past that single
Roger.
point.
Confirmed.
And you could make an argument, well, the books don't go into that because none of the story takes place over there, so what would be the point? But there are worlds which are much better written that actually feel alive, and Lord of the Rings just doesn't. I know I'm gonna get flacked for this, but I'm sorry, it just doesn't grasp me. It's not convincing. Even as a fantasy world, it's just not convincing. And it's boring. It's actually boring. It is... I mean, I know that Tolkien pretty much invented orcs and ogres and elves as we know them, and the whole fantasy is pretty much defined by how he did it.
Aye, aye.
But he didn't really make them any interesting. They are just not... I think that Warcraft has more interesting orcs than Lord of the Rings has, and they are just barbarians in Warcraft, so that says something. Okay, what are you? You are a Shadowhawk. Can I eliminate you quickly? Let's try to eliminate you quickly.
Firing all weapons.
Hold on. Oh, ammo explosion.
Mech destroyed.
And that's why you don't keep the ammo in the central torso.
Yes, Commander.
I will tell you which series of books and games, for me personally, this is a personal opinion, for me the best and the most interesting and fascinating world that has ever been made in video games is the world of Myst. The world of Myst, for me, is the most fascinating world in existence. I don't know if I think there were also books written about Myst, but for me, it's definitely the one that's the most interesting. Come closer. If you're wondering what I mean by believable, it's let's since I'm playing BattleTech, let's put a direct comparison with BattleTech. Now, nothing about BattleTech is realistic in terms of these massive machines and everything. However, the game makes a solid effort, not I mean the lore of this game makes a solid effort not just to explain the machines, but to explain how these machines were made, why they were made. Each one of these mechs has a production history, has a reason why it was made, has a company that made it.
Warning.
Ouch.
Detecting Mech warrior
Company
injury.
history. It's ridiculously
Standing by.
detailed in thought.
Position.
So
confirmed.
much so that it is not difficult to consider that it's a real thing. It makes sense. It makes fiscal sense. It makes logical sense. It makes economic sense.